Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Coming up on The Zone Extra, the winter sports season heats up. As 2020 games come to an end, we look back with Greg RAKESTRAW of the ISC Sports Network. Plus, our Athlete of the Week has a knack for the big shot.
Smith, step back, three, got it!
Sort of knew he was going in, but yeah, it just went in. It was a good moment, though.
And we bring you our top 5 plays of the season so far. The Zone Extra starts right now. Hey, good evening to you and welcome to the Zone Extra, everybody. I'm Anthony Calhoun. As we hit the middle of December, winter sports are in full swing. Coming up tonight, I'm joined in studio by the man you hear all year long on our WNDY Games of the Week. Greg RAKESTRAW from the ISC Sports Network is here with a look back on the fall and the winter preview in high school sports. Plus, our Athlete of the Week has a knack for the big moments. Olivia Ray introduced us to our Athlete of the Week, Purdue recruit and Miss Basketball candidate Jayla Smith of Lawrence North. And as we wind down 2020, Charlie Clifford looks back at our Zone Extra top plays of the season so far. Stick around for that. Now, let's take a look at this week in high school sports. It was another busy night of high school hoops action and games around Central Indiana last Friday. We had a top 10 matchup at Warren Central as the Warriors hosted Cathedral. It was a good one too, but it's the Visiting Irish who pull out a 7-point win. Number 2, Carmel remain unbeaten on the year. The Hounds use a strong and second quarter pull away and win comfortably over Noblesville. New head coach Jason Gardner has his alma mater North Central playing well. The Panthers picked up a 16-point win over Hamilton Southeastern. And at Gardner Ritter, it was all about visiting Crispus Attucks as they earned a 28-point victory. The Tigers are ranked in the top 5 and look to be a force in Class 4A coming up this season. All right, in girls basketball, last week featured the Marion County Tournament. The championship game Saturday night featured a pair of teams very familiar with each other, North Central and Lawrence North. The Wildcats topped the Panthers for the Marion County title last season, but NC picked up a head-to-head win last month. Now, North Central led by 2 after a quarter, but outscored the Wildcats 14-2 in the second to take a 14-point halftime lead. A strong Panther defensive second half held LN to just 13 points, and North Central takes the Marion County crown. 47-24, the final is the first Marion County title for the Panthers in 3 years. How about that? Meanwhile, in wrestling, Carmel participated in the FALCON duel Saturday at Perry Meridian. The Hounds opened the day with the win over Columbus East. They then followed that up with big victories over Greenfield Central and Whiteland before falling to Perry Meridian. That moved Carmel wrestling to 8-1 on the season. And this week, the 3 Mr. Football finalists were announced, and all of them come from right here in Central Indiana. The winner will be revealed coming up, yes, tomorrow. Avon offensive lineman Blake Fisher, the top recruit in the year's seniors class, is one of the finalists. He anchored an Orioles offense that averaged over 35 points per game this season. Fisher will play next year. That is, Fisher will play next year at Notre Dame. And a quarterback, Donovan McCulley, helped lead Lawrence North to its first winning season in 15 years. He threw for over 2,500 yards and 22 touchdowns in 2020. McCulley heads to IU coming up next season. And Carson Steele ran for over 1,600 yards and 31 touchdowns to help Center Grove to an undefeated season and state championship. Congratulations to all 3 seniors. Job well done. Well, as we told you last week, longtime Central Indiana High School football coach Jason West is moving from Warren Central to Franklin Central next season. West, who has won 3 state titles as a coach, including most recently in 2018 with the Warriors, said the move wasn't an easy decision, but something he's looking forward to.
As a coach, you're at the pinnacle of a profession and at a place that really strives hard at something. And so that part is tough, but it was also, I think, the right time to make a change in this situation, a chance to get closer to home, So there's millions of things that go into it, but the major pieces are, Franklin Central's been good at football before. There's just a whole lot of upside with this community that really excited us.
All right, well, all the best to Coach, one of the good guys. Okay, time for a break, but we have much more at hand here tonight on the Zone Extra. Up next, the man who does it all when it comes to covering high school sports. Yep, the one and only RAKESTRAW is here tonight. And still ahead, a defending state champ and lethal at the buzzer, Jayla Smith's story coming up in our Athlete of the Week.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
All right, folks, we're back here on the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. And, you hear him each and every Friday night as part of the high school sports coverage on our sister station, Miami TV Channel 23 with the ISC Sports Network. Game of the Week. You all know this face right here. If you know anything about high school athletics, talking about the great RAKESTRAW here with us tonight on the Zone Extra. Great seeing you as always, man. I know the season, as far as the year that is coming to an end. And so we want to have you on, just kind of reflect on 2020, but especially what we saw there in the latter part of the year, fall sports. And first things first, I mean, it's a miracle that we got through the high school football season, right?
You can use miracle, you can use blessed, you can say amazingly lucky.
Yeah.
You can talk about the wonderful commitment of the student athletes, of the administrators, of the coaches, of the IHSAA to charge forward with having a season. We made a couple of early schedule changes before the season ever started, but AC, the games that we had planned on televising from the opening week of the season all the way to through the state championships, we had those on MyNDTV, which is remarkable to think that we got that far. So there were some bumps along the way, certainly, but it certainly beat the alternative.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, bravo to the entire IHSAA, their staff, the schools, the athletic directors, the coaches, and of course the student athletes, everyone buying in. And I think it hit home with these student athletes is the fact that, look, you got to be smart, safety's first, because if you want to play, you got to do all those things. Otherwise, you may not play on a Friday, or you may not play for cross country or volleyball, you name it, right?
You have always been asked to give this amazing commitment to play a sport in any state, but especially select sports here in the state of Indiana, because the competition is that good, especially the schools that we focus on MyNDTV. But you were asked to do there's so much more off of the field, away from competitions, than these athletes ever were, and parents were asked to do more. And if I could single out one group, it would be athletic administrators. The job of the AD has always had long hours attached to it, but you had to blow up schedules on the fly and try to reschedule matches and games, and especially from a football standpoint, knowing you were sometimes having to reschedule opponents a day or two out. You don't do that in the sport of football. So everyone deserves credit, but a special nod to ADs around the state. They were absolutely wonderful.
I was talking to a good friend of mine who lives in California, and he was asking about just what's the climate like here in Indy when it comes to COVID-19 and just athletics. And I told him, I said, hey, you know what? You're not going to believe this, but we went through the entire football season with no interruptions for the most part. Every week, you had some games canceled at times, but overall, I mean, it was pretty smooth sailing if you think about it. I mean, you look at some video here, some of the games you called this year. How big of an accomplishment was it for, the IHSAA, these schools here, to be able to get to the state at Lucas Oil Stadium and crown 6 champions?
Hey, see, I tried to say this for every team when their season concluded in the postseason. I still remember our first postseason game with Tri-West and Indian Creek. And Indian Creek was a first round exit to a good Tri-West team. And I said, for the young men from Indian Creek, you are to be commended, because you got to finish your script. You got to have an entire season. The same goes for anybody else that might have lost in a postseason game. And for us to have 6 state championships, as we normally would, again, there's not enough plaudits to go around for everybody involved that made it happen.
We know football around here in Central Indiana is special, but to see 6 state champions, all from this area here, I mean, that's unbelievable, right?
It is, and there's great football that's played around the state, but now you kind of see a resurgence of Central Indiana dominance. And you know, Cathedral wins for the first time in 6 years. Ron Colley for the first time in 4 years. Chatard making it back-to-back. Yeah. What Western Boone did to win 3 consecutive state championships. And how about Covenant Christian? They've been playing varsity football for 6 years, and they claim a 1A state title.
Which is amazing. So look, back at the beginning of the year, here on the Zone Extra, we kind of put this guy on the hot seat to get his prediction on what the high school football season was going to be like. We had a high school football preview for you. So let's take a look at this. Let's flash back to what this guy had to say.
5A, there's one team on your list that jumped out to me. They lost 7 games last year.
Zionsville is the team. Now you're seeing
the highlight
guys here. Well, the thing is that Zionsville was the smallest 6A school last year. Now they're in 6A, Zionsville's in 5A. That's why I like Zionsville, because they play a 6A schedule.
Wow, how about that? How about you calling Zionsville? Of course, they were in the state finals there, coming up short to Cathedral, but man, you know something about this high school football deal.
First of all, I missed my beard. The beard's got to make a comeback now that I saw that from back in August when we filmed that. And Zionsville, I think, is heading right back to 6A. So I probably had Zionsville maybe going to the semi-state round, so they went one past where I thought they would in the state championship. And kudos to Scott Turnquist and everybody with that Zionsville program, because Cathedral may have had the best team they've ever had, and Zionsville gave them a really good battle in the 5A state championship.
And I tell you what, Zionsville had to do some battling throughout the postseason to get where they were. And so congratulations, Zionsville, getting there. And of course, congrats to the champ there in Cathedral. All right, so let's kind of switch gears here, because now we're getting ready to get in the heart of the high school basketball season. And we got some good teams out there, but I think what comes to mind for a lot of folks has to do with, of course, Carmel. And you think about Lawrence North as well. Are those the 2 teams we should be keeping our eye on this season here?
I think so from a 4A perspective, but I would also say that, AC, there's probably more parity in 4A that even we're going to see at the 1A, 2A, and 3A levels. And all these teams are from outside of our viewing area, but Bar Eve is outstanding in 1A, Blackhawk Christian is tremendous in 2A, Silver Creek in 3A. There are more quality teams in 4A. Obviously, lots more in this area. You know, Carmel, LN, but Warren Central's very talented. Indianapolis Attucks has completely reloaded from a team that had a lot of seniors last year. Schools from outside of the area like Homestead and Gary Westside. 4A is very balanced, but maybe I have circled the Carmel LN game on February 4th already on my schedule on my NBTV.
Oh, that's going to be great. Speaking of my NBTV, Channel 23, the games we'll have for the game of the week. Let's take a look at some of the upcoming games coming your way. And, you know, you did mention that Carmel matchup coming up later this season. Can't wait to see that. There's a look at some of the other games as well. How bad do you think these students want to get to sectionals and finally have an opportunity to possibly play for a sectional title, hopefully?
The stopping point last year was the sectional crown. So we had 64 schools that finished their season with a win last year. But there's a lot of those schools that will forever wonder, hey, just how far would we have gotten? I do think we will have an answer this year. I do think we will have a state tournament, hopefully on time in March. But yes, for every school that wondered what might have been a year ago, I think they'll have that payoff this time around.
Okay. You guys know him, Greg Rakestraw, always getting it done for us on My TV, Channel 23. Friday nights, folks. Tuesday nights as well. It seems like every night you're on.
It's me and Steve Harvey. We dominate the airwaves on My TV. And of course, AC, the news is simulcast on TV 23 as well.
Every now and then. All right. Thank you so much, G. I appreciate your time.
You got it.
Okay, we're taking a break. Stay ahead here tonight on the Zone Extra. It's our athlete of the week. She's one of the best players, Greg, in the state. Up next, our Olivia Ray introduced us to Lawrence North's Jayla Smith. Plus, we take a look at our game plan coming up tomorrow night on The Zone. We're back right after this.
This is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Back here on the Zone Extra, time now for our athlete of the week. She's already won a basketball state title at Lawrence North and is one of the state's top players. As our Olivia Ray tells us tonight, with the game on the line, you want the ball in the hands of Jayla Smith.
Basically, it was 40-40, you know, get front of something, but it was really like an isolation with me at the top of the key and dragged the ball out to the outside three-point line, sort of took 3 dribbles back and just fired it. Sort of knew it was going in.
Smith, step back 3, got it!
Game-winning heroics don't even faze Jayla Smith anymore. The Purdue commit and frontrunner for Miss Indiana basketball has already led Lawrence North to 2 consecutive trips to state. And early in her senior season, she's responsible for the Wildcats' biggest win of the year.
She has always had that kind of innate, uncanny ability to seize the moment. And pressure doesn't seem to bother her.
Yeah, I like to win, so biggest goal is to be back in that state final championship with my teammates this year. You know, last year was sort of different with them. Some of the seniors that we lost, we were very good, but we still have the same talent. We still have a lot of talent on this team where I think we can make it back to finals. Just taking a game by game, being patient on it.
Patience is the secret ingredient to Smith constantly coming in clutch for her teams, and it's a recipe that she copied from some of the best.
As first, yeah, you got to start off with Kobe, but then I also look at Tamika Catching. I watched her growing up, especially in the WNBA, wanting to follow her and be in the WNBA like she is and be the greatest player that she was.
She's always, from the time she was a freshman onward, has been, you know, willing to take and make, you know, big shots. She'll give the ball up, but on those big moments, she wants to take the shot.
Make it, take it. Smith is on pace to become her school's all-time leading scorer before she heads to West Lafayette next fall. Olivia Ray, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
All right, Olivia, thank you very much. Great job, as always there. Okay, time for a break, but still ahead, much more in the Zone Extra, including our Play of the Week. Plus, we look ahead to a great Friday of high school basketball. The Zone, coming up.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Back here on the Zone tonight, Zone Extra, that is. One of our favorite parts of covering high school sports is the passion of both the players and the fans in the stands. The school spirit we see is incredible everywhere we go, and each fall we award the prestigious Zone banner to the school with the best spirit. Congratulations again to Westfield. Banner season may be over, but we are always on the lookout for the great school spirit across central Indiana, whether it's in person, socially distanced, or virtually. Their creativity and passion make high school sports special. Keep showing us why your school has the best spirit, and we can't wait for the battle to begin coming up next fall. All right, well, each week on the Zone show, of course, we feature a top play, but as we approach 2021, tonight, our Charlie Clifford takes a look back at the Zone Extra top 5 plays of the year.
So many great plays this year. Where do we start? How about number 5, Carmel basketball facing Noblesville. Brian Waddell, reverse slam. The Hounds ranked 2nd in Class 4A. 4, girls soccer sectional action. Cascade's Sydney Gabbard, the strike 35 yards out into the top corner. Cascade defeats Monrovia 2-0 in that match. Number 3, Westfield football opening kickoff against Franklin Central. Mason Peenig all the way back to the house for a touchdown. The Rocks made the state title game in 6A this season. Number 2, Decatur Central and Whiteland Warrior fumble. JAVON TRACY scooping and hurdling. He's gone for the touchdown. And at number 1, sectional final at Shenandoah. Heritage Christians Maxwell Milton going for the end zone. REID GERIG. That is a one-handed grab from REID GERIG. We cannot wait to see what 2021 brings. Charlie Clifford, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Man, how about that? Okay, thanks, Charlie. Hey, it's a big night of high school basketball action across central Indiana coming up tomorrow night with some big matchups coming your way in the Hoosiers Crossroads. Our Olivia Ray has you covered in the Zone with all the scores and highlights coming up tomorrow night at 11:08. And our Miami TV Channel 23 Game of the Week. And here we go. We got a good one. Carmel against North Central. The rivalry continues. That's tomorrow, 7:30, Miami TV Channel 23. Let's take a look at some of the other games we'll have coming your way as well. There's the key matchups, all the action, 11:08 right here on Wish TV. Coming up tomorrow on the Zone, we've got you covered with the best high school basketball coverage in the state. All right, folks, hey, thank you so much for watching the Zone Extra. You know the deal. We're here every Thursday, 7 o'clock. Right here on Wish TV. Big night of high school basketball coming your way tomorrow night as well. Don't forget, 11:08 on the Zone. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you back here next 7 o'clock, next Thursday it is, the Zone Extra.